I f***ed up. Okay, something's...
That adrenaline takes that dump, man. You ain't gonna feel so hot. It's actually like a hole. If I didn't know any better, I would have been like, that looks like a gunshot. You're a tough cookie, though, man. It's being tough. You're actually very lucky. I meant to tell you that earlier. Typically, with our motorcycle accidents, when we do get to them, usually people are talking to us.
So right off the bat, yes, it finally did happen. I finally got into a motorcycle accident. I didn't die. I just kind of broke a bone and impaled my leg. So because most people have the attention span of a goldfish, I'm going to show you guys kind of like a brief rundown of what happened. It's a TikTok that I made, and yeah, it basically just summarizes in short what exactly happened. So here you go. Alright guys, so I figure I'd make a quick video just to kind of briefly go over what happened to my leg. Something obviously did happen. I'm in crutches right now and wearing this thing, which is super fun. To keep it short, I got into a motorcycle accident. I low-sided into a curb, and then on impact of said curb, I broke my fibular bone. I kind of went foot first into the curb, and right after that, like maybe a millisecond after that, the bike kind of came around, and the foot peg kind of stabbed me through the calf region. So it wasn't too bad. It was like a tiny bullet hole.
If I didn't know any better, I would have been like, that looks like a gunshot.
I have some like minor nerve damage up here. I can't really feel anything within a 4-inch radius under my knee, which is fine. It's just the bone at this point that I'm waiting for, and bones take a while to heal apparently. So bike is fixed. Surprisingly, there was minimal damage. I got it fixed within like the first week of all this happening, and yeah, just learning to walk again, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm not dead yet. But now if you guys want the longer story of what exactly happened and what I learned from all this, that's what the rest of this video is for. So here we go. So this started like any normal day after work. I hit the gym, I forget about life, and I just pick things up and I put stuff down. You know, it's very therapeutic. But you know what's even more therapeutic? Riding motorcycle. You know that whole thing where people say, oh yeah, before my accident I had like a weird feeling like in my gut that something was off and like I shouldn't have gone out? I felt that. So the gym that I usually go to was closed just for that day for renovations. So I had to go like 30-40 minutes out to this other gym. And then I'm supposed to go with a buddy, and then this buddy last minute says, hey, it's how far out? I'm gonna pass. And so I can just remember getting on this bike, getting ready to go, and I just felt weird. And I don't ever feel like that when I ride, especially because I've been riding for so long. Like sometimes like when I first started riding, I get like a little kick of fear or something, but I would just feel like that's fear. Get on the bike, go, you know, and I was always fine. But this time was different. Something felt off. There were just too many new variables, so I got on the bike anyway. I should also say this is like the one time that I can even recall in recent memory that I didn't bring the GoPro, which is absurd because literally in the last video I said, I always have the GoPro on me because you never know when you'll legally need the footage. So yeah, I don't have footage of the crash, but I do have footage of what happened like right after the crash. Like I pulled out my phone once I realized it wasn't busted, and I kind of just started filming just stuff, and which I'll show you guys soon. But yeah, I ride out 30 minutes, whatever. I go to this new gym. Everything's smooth. I go the speed limit like a responsible Floridian. And then after I'm done working out, I snap this photo. And little did I know, less than an hour after taking this photo, I would be snapping my bones. And then I would say maybe 10 minutes out from home base, that's when it happened. So what exactly happened was I was going down a corner, and I've been getting a little more used to the lean angle of the R6, but keep in mind, nothing that would make me outright lose traction. And then like an idiot mid-turn, I decided to get on the gas, but I did it too quick. And just like that, it was almost instantaneous. I feel the rear wheel lose traction, and then I'm immediately like on my back like this. And then I start sliding. And I will say, if anyone's ever felt that feeling of you just going and not being able to stop yourself and you're just literally in ragdoll mode, it is a very weird feeling. You will never forget a feeling like that where you're just barreling down. But yeah, so I'm sliding. You know, in most cases you'll just slide out, lose some skin on your butt cheeks, but you'll be fine. But unfortunately, there was a curb. And so yeah, I'm sliding with the bike, and then all of a sudden, wham, I go like foot first into the curb, and I immediately shatter my fibular bone. So I hit it hard. I remember just feeling like the shock of it. And then like a millisecond later, the bike kind of comes around and the foot peg goes into my calf, which I'm being dead honest, I didn't even notice, because like the second that I hit the curb, all my attention immediately went to my ankle. But yeah, as soon as the bike impales my calf, the wheels hit the curb, and then the bike kind of, because it was sliding on this side, the wheels hit the curb, pulling the foot peg out of my leg, and then the bike kind of flips over, goes onto the other side of the curb, and then falls over on the other side. So like it fell and slid on both sides, unfortunately. So I watch a lot of skate fail videos on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of people's legs snap. And a lot of times these kids, you know, are like pretty chill because of the adrenaline kind of coming through. And usually the only time they really shout out in pain or anything is like if they're scared, like if it's like a full-on compound fracture with like the bones sticking out. That's like the only time they really like show any pain, you know? But I don't know what it is, and I know I can take a lot of pain physically. I think it might have been just because I've been out for a while at this point and I'm tired and I'm like maybe 5-10 minutes away from home. I don't know why, but I don't think I got hit with any adrenaline whatsoever, and I felt every molecule of pain shoot up my leg. And I remember just being like on my knees, just like, you know, just trying to absorb it. And that's the thing, like I can take 10 out of 10 pain if I can just ride it out. The problem is when you really mess yourself up, like you break something or tear something, that pain doesn't go away. So it just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. Yeah, so I'm like laying on the street just trying to ride out this pain. Even though I know I snapped it, I'm still like, what if it's not snapped and I can just like get up and walk away from this and pick up the bike? And then I think I remember I tried to get up a few times and like my leg just couldn't do it. And then I immediately turned my attention to the bike because it was on the opposite side of the road. You know, it wasn't in my lane anymore. It hopped the curve. Seeing my leg all mangled up afterwards doesn't even compare to seeing my R6 bleeding out on the street floor. I don't know what exactly it was. Gas, oil, I don't know what it was, but it was just oozing out of the gas tank. It looked like, and I'm just like, oh my god, my baby. And keep in mind, this is all like at 1 o'clock in the morning. So like, no one's on the road except two people, me and this other person I see coming down the road heading right towards my bike. So then I'm like, oh no, like this person's gonna hit my bike, and then so I immediately start crawling to the bike because I'm like, if this person's gonna hit the bike, like they better kill me too. And then I remember the lady rolling down her window and asking like, do you need me to call an ambulance or something? And I said yes, and she was nice about it. Ambulance, like police, they were there within a minute. And it was at this point where I pulled out my phone and I'm like, oh, it's not broken. I'm just gonna start filming. So I started filming right then and there. I just kind of just left the camera and just let it roll. Not fast at all. You know, when you're just going through it, you look for the tiny wins, you look for the little things, and I'm like, at least I don't think the bike is totaled. I don't know if the frame is cracked, but it doesn't look totaled, you know, and I have my phone. But I might have broken my leg.
Yeah, this looks good. It's all good except my left leg.
And so the ambulance kind of comes up to my foot and they start moving my foot, and it just reassures me that like I really messed it up.
A little cut on the inside of your leg.
Okay, something's...
Your leg messed up.
Keep in mind, at this point, I didn't know about like my leg like being impaled and everything. Like I didn't even feel it. That's how bad my ankle hurt. And so yeah, they bring an ambulance. I'm just like,
Hypothetically, what if I don't want to go in an ambulance?
I don't want to go. I'll crawl to the ER if I have to. But they convinced me that wouldn't be such a smart idea. And so I reluctantly went with them. It was at that point that one of the dudes mentioned the bullet hole looking wound that I had in my calf.
So you have a good laceration to that side of your foot there. You have a decent hole down right by your knee. Yeah.
I think I just really extended my foot. I'm trying to like... That too.
It's actually like a hole. Yeah. Like legit. If I didn't know any better, I would have been like, that looks like a gunshot. It's almost like a perfect hole.
I crashed my bike to hide that. I'm just kidding.
I was surprised I didn't feel it like at all. Should also say, I don't think I said this yet, but I was wearing gear. I unfortunately wasn't wearing moto boots, which, you know, I don't know if it would or wouldn't have saved my leg and ankle, or moto pants. I was just wearing the jacket, the gloves, and the helmet, which when I did land on the floor, my head kind of snapped back and like there is a little bit of damage to the helmet. That's why I always wear my helmet, even sometimes when I don't wear the jacket, which I'm so happy that for whatever reason I decided to put it on. And yeah, the jacket held up well. I didn't get any road rash really anywhere but like my left leg. So yeah, I'm in the ambulance and they offer me some pain medication.
How's that pain? Is it getting any worse?
When that adrenaline takes that dump, man, you're not gonna feel so hot.
Any pain up in your thigh area?
No, even my shin, I can feel the hole. It's just my foot.
Who are you thinking is gonna take your bike home? You're not driving.
My right foot still works.
I'll give you a pain scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt, 1 being very little.
7, 8. I pulled a muscle in my back about a year or two ago, and that was the only 10 out of 10 that I've ever felt. Creeping up, though.
Okay, it is instant.
Okay, well.
Just gotta start the IV and give it to you. That's not a problem for me.
Alright, I can wait.
And me being the manly man that I am, really I just didn't want to pay more bills, I courageously declined. That was a stupid decision. And yes, I'm riding in the ambulance and me and the boys are hitting it off.
If you don't want to go to the hospital by ambulance, you want to go by helicopter?
I'll pass, man.
That is a way cooler ride than that.
It is way cool. I've been there.
I won't be upset. That is affirmative. The patient was wearing a helmet and body armor, no neck, back pain, no LOC. You're a tough cookie though, man. It's being tough. You're actually very lucky. I meant to tell you that earlier. Typically, our motorcycle accidents, when we do get to them, usually people aren't talking to us. I'm kind of grateful also.
That'll be good.
Cool group of dudes, you know. I think they were just happy that like I was responsive and like they went to a motorcycle crash call that the dude was alive, you know. Yeah, it's around this point too where the pain just kind of levels out. It kind of hovers in the same range. It's not like spiking anymore. It's just kind of chilling. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. I don't need the pain medication. I'll be fine.
Were you wearing a shoe?
He was actually going to be a refusal. He didn't want us to bring him.
Bless you.
We're gonna have you stand and sit. I'm kidding.
I can stand.
No.
I got nervous at first because like my upper body, I was wet everywhere up here. I thought it was blood, but I had a drink.
Yeah, I saw a burger on the floor, and I think
Yeah, dude, I had my food on me.
Good thing you had the jacket on.
the jacket, the helmet.
Should have had boots. Now I know.
I wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, they sit me down and then they start working on my leg. Now, I don't have footage of this next part, but when you have road rash and you have puncture wounds, they have to clean it out. I've heard some horror stories of, like, people scrubbing out road rash and stuff, so I was kind of bracing for the pain, but at the same time, I'm like, they're probably going to pain medicate me, right? I mean, they're not just going to go in. Well, it turns out they already offered the pain medication, apparently, in the ambulance, and I had declined. And so the lady brings out this liquid. It's like a brownish kind of liquid, and she just pours it right into the hole in my leg. And, you know, this whole time where like my nervous system was just like, no, ignore everything else. Your ankle's messed up. It changed its mind. I didn't feel anything in my ankle anymore. So the second she pours that liquid into my calf and it's going through all like the muscle fibers, I'm just like, whoa! And then she's like, oh, would you like some pain medication? And it wasn't just my leg. Like in no time at all, she went from like the hole in my leg to the road rash and to the hole in my foot. Yeah, I also forgot to mention I had like a hole in my foot, which is weird because my shoe didn't have a hole in it. Yeah, after she kind of goes through all of that, she offers me pain meds, which I'm like, yes. And then they stick me with a bunch of stuff. I think I got like a tetanus shot or something. That I got like some shots in the neck, but like again, I'm just like, stick me with whatever, man. Like I don't care. And then because of the hole being open, they had to obviously stitch it shut. So they start numbing the area, and I didn't know that this is how they do it. They take like the numbing needle thing and they like stick it into the wound, like in the hole. Did that hurt as bad as the liquid being poured? No. But did it feel nice? No. So yeah, they numb up the area, they stitch it all shut, they stitch the weird hole in my foot that had the little thing coming out, which again, I don't even know how that happened. And so yeah, they finish up. I finally stopped shaking because the whole time, like as soon as the liquid hit my foot, I was just like, and then they did some imaging, and then they found out that, yeah, I had broken my fibula, which I kind of already knew. I would have been more shocked if nothing was broken. Yeah, after that, you know, it was just a weird time. You know, I was bedridden. Like, I'd never been bedridden for that long ever in my life. And I'm just, like, laying there on the couch for a whole month, and I'm such an active person. My vices are, like, exercise, like airsoft, the motorcycle, like, all this stuff that I can't do. The lady at the hospital did say, like, yeah, the second day, the third day, those are going to be pretty rough. And again, I don't know what it is with me. I'm just like, yeah, I don't need no pain medication. I don't need nothing. I wake up the next morning and my ankle hurts like the most it had ever hurt like prior. And again, just like my back injury, which is the most painful injury I've ever had. But just like that injury, it just kept climbing that pain scale and it wasn't stopping. And I got to the point on that second day where I had to call like a doctor on demand and I basically like begged them for oxy or just like anything because it was really bad. But then the doctor was like, have you tried elevating your foot, you idiot? And I'm like, oh no, I hadn't tried that. It might be the swelling. So instead of getting drugged up, I just put my foot up and then the pain winds up going away within like an hour. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be doing this for like the next few weeks. So yeah, the accident happened, I think like a month ago, more than a month ago. So I have photos of it and video. So I'm just gonna start playing that stuff now. You can kind of see like the initial like damage that was done to the leg before the swelling, you know, because like when it first happened, there was zero swelling. And I'm in the ambulance, right, the guy said, yeah, I don't think you broke anything because it's like your leg isn't swollen yet. Usually it's swollen by now. And so yeah, I'm in crutches throughout this whole time. We go to an Avenged Sevenfold concert with my brother. He had to like put me in a wheelchair and he was like towing me around, which I don't like the feeling of being so helpless, but it was nice of him to just like tow me everywhere. I felt like a king almost. And yeah, at that point, time just slowly passes by. After this point, it's just more of the same. It's more of me just in crutches, kind of limping and slowly putting some weight on my foot and it hurting like a lot, which is normal because, you know, scar tissue inflammation. You have to kind of break through all of that to get mobility back. Oh my god, this is the first steps that I've taken since the accident without crutches. This is what it's going to be like when I'm old. It's like hobbling over. Okay, if I fall, I'm catching it on the video. Okay, I can walk again. And I still don't have full mobility yet. I'm still limping. But at least now I'm in a brace, so I don't have to wear that stupid boot all the time. I can move my toes again. You know, I was like walking. I've been walking a lot. Yeah, my leg feels a lot better. That's where the bike went into my leg. That's some like road rash stuff, and then that's the brace. Not 100% yet out, but I will get there. So yeah, in conclusion, what did I learn from this experience? First thing, trust your gut instinct. Don't ever doubt it. And I mean that for everything. Trust your gut instinct. Don't let anyone tell you different. I felt off about going that day, and it wasn't fear, because obviously I'm not scared of nothing. But still, I guess that's maybe what I told myself. Maybe when I felt that feeling, I maybe felt, oh yeah, well you're just being a coward. Get on the bike, boy, you know. But it was a different feeling, and I should have listened to that, and I should not have went that night. I shouldn't have done it. Second thing that I learned is not to push things on the street. And keep in mind, I wasn't even going ridiculously fast. I wasn't ridiculously tilted. That's like the difference between like the street and like a racetrack. You know, a racetrack is controlled. You know that there's nothing on the road. Whereas with the streets, you know, you could be riding these same streets every single day, and then one day there's some gravel, or one day the roads are wet, you know, so you can't control these things. Even though I wasn't going crazy fast, I could have gone slower. And, you know, I'm not going to blame the elements. That was on me. The last thing I learned is something I always felt, and it just reinforced it with me, is that this, unfortunately, is the price of admission. Every single person that I know that has ridden for any considerable time has gone down at least once. You might not want to hear it, especially if you're thinking about getting into motorcycles. Unfortunately, I'm speaking for me. Everybody that I know who rides has gone down. Now, the injuries vary. Some people get really messed up. Some people are like kind of like me, where, you know, it was rough. It was dark going through this stuff. But, you know, it's like I didn't lose a leg. I can still walk, kind of. And I guess the best thing you can do is kind of keep that in mind. And if you are keeping that in mind actively, you're going to wind up wearing gear, which is a good thing. Even though I wasn't covered head to toe with gear, I had enough where I spared myself road rash on my whole upper body. I didn't get concussed, snapping my head back on the street. Gear's a good thing. And yes, for how much time I still have left on my recovery window, swelling, they said, could last a year. So that's going to be just a fun little quirky thing that my leg will do, I guess. My bones should be fused in like the next few weeks, and then the muscles and everything is probably going to take like another month to kind of get back. And I should have a full recovery minus some nerve damage I got from the puncture wound. I can't feel anything within like a 4-inch radius under my knee, and I don't think that's coming back. I'm not expecting it to come back. It just means I can kick criminals and not feel any pain, so that's a plus. Alright guys, so that is the video. Go check out my TikTok and my Instagram. I got a new guitar right here. Look at this bad boy. Look at this chunky boy. It's a 7-string, and it's a multi-scale guitar, so it's got like the weird fan frets. That just means better string tension, which means thick riffs. That's how we roll here. Anyways, that is it. I'm gonna try to get on the bike soon because I feel like my bone is pretty much there. Yeah, that is it. I will see you guys later. Bye.